Well, hey guys. I mentioned in only one of the services on Sunday morning about something that we have coming up starting tomorrow, which is Friday and Saturday. And because I forgot to mention it in both services, I just figured I'd do a quick video and kind of spend a little more time, just give you the idea behind it, really the purpose behind what I asked you guys to do on Sunday. And if you attended the second service, you heard that I asked that everyone would please fast with me on this upcoming Saturday and Friday. So I got those days a little backwards there, but Friday, so tomorrow and Saturday, there we go. So Friday and Saturday, I'm asking that as a church, collectively we fast. And now some people who had already heard this on this past Sunday came up to me and said, I would love to fast, but I just can't. Maybe there's a medical condition, maybe there's something else that's going on, and it's just an area where you guys say, I just can't fast. I'm just not able to. And really you're thinking of fasting in relation to food at that point. So what I would tell you is now, yes, a biblical precedent in fasting is often that we give up food or we give up something like that, some sustenance for our body. Maybe like in myself, I would give up coffee, which I gave up coffee. I did a month fast of coffee, and every single day I woke up, it reminded me, one, that I was in that fast, and then it reminded me why I was in that fast, and that was to give that back onto the Lord. Something that I do enjoy, something that's not necessarily bad for me in and of itself, but something that I should be surrendering my body to and putting my body under submission in remembrance mode. So fasting is not just to have no purpose at all or just a sense of self deprecation. It's nothing to do with that. Fasting is that each and every time we remember that thing that we're giving up, and it's usually something like food that we just so enjoy, and there's a constant draw. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, they're always coming, and that gnawing sense that's within us of hunger should really can be a constant and a continual reminder to do the very thing that Christ calls us into, and that is to pray without ceasing. And that's really what fasting does. It sharpens us down. It takes our focus away from all the externals, and it's a constant daily reminder, a constant, sometimes minute by minute reminder of what we have given up in that day, and then a constant reminder that we've given it up to spend some time with the Lord and to pray and to seek Him in many things. So this is a precedent that's set throughout the entire Bible. From early on in the Old Testament until the end of the Bible, we see that people are fasting. And really the only time that people are called to not fast is when they're in the presence of Christ. And you see that is coming up shortly in our study in Mark, where the disciples are questioned by the rabbis of the day, asking them why they do not fast. And Jesus has an answer for that in the fact that He is with them, and they're not going to fast while the bridegroom is present. So, but we are waiting, and we have the Holy Spirit within us, but we are waiting for the second coming of Christ. And so we will, as a church, fast. And so I'm asking, if you can't give up food specifically, maybe it's something else in your life that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's something that you do enjoy, that as your Friday and Saturday go on, that you would give that thing unto the Lord, and it would be a constant reminder for you to come to Him in prayer. And just want to read you three quick passages. And in Acts 13, 2 through 4, it says, while they were worshiping the Lord and fasting, the Holy Spirit said, set apart for me Barnabas and Saul for the work to which I have called them. Then, after fasting and praying, they laid their hands on them and sent them off. So, being sent out by the Holy Spirit, they went down to Seleucia, and from there they sailed to Cyprus. So we see there the commissioning by the Holy Spirit and by the church in Jerusalem to commission new leaders into the service of the Lord. And they fasted while doing that. They fasted while praying. They fasted while sending them out. And again, in Acts 14:23, it says this, Paul and Barnabas appointed elders for them in each church, and with prayer and fasted, they committed them to the Lord in whom they had put their trust. So again, as they are starting down the road of praying for their elders, as they're starting to commission the elders, even the leaders of their body for work, they pray and they fast in remembrance of the Lord, thanking Him for those leaders, thanking Him for those elders, but also commissioning them onto the Lord in prayer and fasting to constantly be remembering to pray for them, to constantly be asking the Lord for the best in those leaders and the best leadership that they are now submitting themselves onto. So we see that in the commissioning and the sending of leaders, that fasting is happening. And then we see as we see the seeking of the Lord's favor, we see fasting happening again, and that's in Esther 4:16. And many of you are familiar with the Esther passage, but in Esther 4:16 it says, "Go, gather together all the Jews who are in Susia, and fast for me. Do not eat or drink for 3 days, night or day. And I and my attendants will do as you do, fast as you do. When this is done, I will go to the king, even though it is against the law. It is against the law. And if I perish, I perish." So this is Esther going to seek the favor of an earthly king, but she's seeking the favor of a heavenly king in order to gain favor here on earth. And she is praying not only just with herself, but with her entire household, with her servants, and she's seeking all of the people in her community, all of the local Jewish people to actually come beside her to fast and to pray as she is about to go and petition the king. She is seeking the Lord's favor in that petition. So as we're seeking God's favor moving forward, we're going to do the same thing here as leaders of the church, as ask that the church, just as Esther asked all of the local Jewish men and women in that area to fast, as leaders of the church, we're asking that the church come beside us and pray and seek the Lord's wisdom for the coming time, in the coming year, the launch of small groups, for wisdom in our leadership, for wisdom and counsel in the direction of the church. And then we see, as we are seeking the Lord for wisdom, this is again in Ezra 8:23. It says, "So we fasted and implored our God for this, and he listened to our entreaty." Now, fasting doesn't have some like super highway, some super gateway onto the Lord, of which if we fast, we're just going to get all of our prayers answered. But what it does is it gets us into closer relationship with God. It constantly is reminding us of those things, and it's constantly drawing back our minds that are chaotic and crazy and wrapped up into the things of this world. It's drawing us back minute by minute, as we remember the earthly, the bodily, the physical, or the mental thing that we've given up. We can remember continually to pray to the Lord. So that is the main factor in fasting. As you remember the thing that you've given up, you remember to pray to the Lord. You remember to thank him for what you do have. You remember to petition him for wisdom and guidance and counsel. You remember to pray for the people that he's placed into leadership above us. So as we fast for Friday and Saturday, Friday is going to be a day that we're going to be primarily focusing on praying for our 318 groups that are launching or just recently launching, and God would just give them provision in the coming year. And then the second thing on Saturday that we're going to be praying for is vision and casting for the church. And that's going to be for our upcoming leadership, for our upcoming budget, for the missions that we are going to be rolling out in 2022. So things like that. I'm going to send a list out to you guys of some areas you can be praying for both Friday and Saturday. So I pray that, guys, that you wouldn't just blow this off, that you would prayerfully consider fasting and praying with me for Friday and Saturday, tomorrow and Saturday, as we seek the Lord, as we petition him, as we thank him, as we go to him for wisdom, as we go to him for counsel, as we come collectively as a body to seek the will and the face of the Lord. So you guys can look in your emails for a list I'll be sending out. Think and pray on what the Lord would have you give up. Personally, I'm just going to be doing a fast of food for Friday and Saturday. And we're going to be praying for 318 groups on Friday, for the church on Saturday, and collectively seeking the Lord together. So this is a perfect time for you guys to know that our video sequence and services have kind of switched. So if you've been looking online for our videos, you can now find them. There's going to be a link right where you're watching this to the side, a link for YouTube, which is where we're hosting all of our videos now. So you'll see this video is also listed there, as well as our past Sunday sermons. And as soon as we get somebody to help us with that, or some free time, we're going to start to upload all of our old past sermons to that YouTube page, so that way you can access them again. So for the time being, they'll only be the most recent one. But go on there, hop on YouTube. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel, so that way you never miss anything that gets placed out by Living Water Church. You'll get notified right away of any of these videos that come out, any of our Sunday services. You can watch live right on YouTube or on our website. So that's going to be our new server going forward, just so you guys know where to find these videos and where they can be accessed the easiest. So hop on our YouTube channel, subscribe right there, and every single time that you subscribe, hit the little bell notification, and that way when we put a new video out, I won't even have to email you. You'll just automatically get notified of those things coming out. So if you guys have any questions about fasting, you can contact myself or Steve Logie or Dave Jenkins. We would be happy to talk that over with you, chat about it. But I would ask that you prayerfully consider joining us this Friday and Saturday as we fast together. So I love you guys. I cannot wait to see you guys on Sunday. I pray that you've been having a blessed week, and I look forward to worshiping with you soon. Love you.